and welcome to another YouTube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about a sustainable period, and in particular, my sustainable period. I think, so far in my life, I've worked out that I've had 240 periods. Is that right? Is that too much? I think I've had 240 periods, and I've worked out I've probably got about another 150 of them to come. So what I'm trying to do is make those periods a bit more sustainable, and for me that means less plastic use, less wastage, more organic products and materials being used, and sort of recycled materials being used in postage and packaging. That's what I mean, in like packaging and stuff like that. If we're going to talk, what I've got here is I've got 4 different products that I use that I consider quite sustainable compared to sort of supermarket bought sanitary towels and tampons, where there's a lot of wet plastic wastage, things come in plastic things within plastic things within plastic things, and the materials used aren't always the most organic or the most natural, and in some places I found that there's a lot of bleach in tampons, guys, and I don't know how I feel about popping something that's been that highly bleached inside my body. What I thought I would talk about is my, first of all, I'll address what my period is like, because obviously you need to know how these work in relation to your period, and I thought I'd tell you about my period, then you're going to get a better idea of how they work. So for me, I have sort of light spotting for about 3 hours, particularly when wiping, and then all of a sudden for 2 days I have super duper heavy periods. I'm talking like Super Plus, David's dancing over there, Super Plus tampons, nighttime sanitary towels. Like, if I can equate it to something on the high street that's probably more widely used, and that's the sort of thing that I'm using. That lasts for 2 days, after which I get a little bit of spotting, then it disappears, and guess what? It comes back again. Just when you think, oh, I'm back in normal knickers, no sanitary towel or panty liner required, we're back. So that's my period. I get really bad period pains, particularly the first morning. I'm talking like sort of, I'm a bit bedridden with period pains. I use things like hot water bottles. I have a bath works really well. I have to take ibuprofen, and moving makes things much better, but also staying still makes it much better too. So it's just, I'm just a bit of a mess, and yeah, then I have really bad skin afterwards. It's just fun, isn't it? Isn't having a womb fun? So yeah, as I said, that's my period. So if your period's a little bit like that, or if you want to think about how I use these products in relation to your period, if you've got a light period, then you might think that maybe that these are obviously going to be used for a more heavy duty period, such as my own. I've got 4 products here. I'm going to work through them. I consider them all sustainable, and the first one I'm going to use is a MoonCup. So this is my MoonCup. Comes in a little bag like this, and this is what a MoonCup is. These are £20. You can buy them in Boots, which you never used to be able to do. You used to be able to just buy them online. And this is a little silicone cup that's covered in fluff, not any vaginal fluff. This fluff out of this bag, and you squish this and insert it into your vagina, and then it will slowly pop out, and then that will sit on your sort of wall, and that collects all the blood and all your gear that's coming out there. Then to remove it, you have to reach up, pinch it to release the suction, and get it out here. God, never did I think there'd be a day where I'd be using my hand to represent my own vagina on a video for all to see. Yeah, so for me, I got this a couple of years ago, and for the first 6 to 8 months, I bloody loved it. I had no problem. I was very familiar with it and myself, because let me tell you, get very familiar with yourself very easily. I was able to, after like the initial, obviously I'd never put anything this sort of big. I'd only ever put tampons with applicators up my fanny hole, so this was unusual to put it up there. But once I got through the first sort of like first 2 or 3 applications, I was running wild with it. I was able to, there's 2 sort of ways you could do it. You can squeeze it like this. There's so much fluff in it. You squeeze it like this and put it up, or you can do, I think they call this the tulip one, which gives a more of a sort of point that you can pop up. And I was using both things. I was getting up there. It never ever leaked for me. That is one thing I will say. It never ever leaked. Congratulations, never leaked. And I never really found it too messy. Now, what I will say as a sort of, no, do you know what? I'll carry on with the good things about it, and then I'll talk about the cons. So these are the pros, and then I'll go through the cons, because I'm very honest and transparent here. Is money saving? This is £20, and you only ever have to buy one. That's it. Once you've bought that, that's it forever. Unless you lose it. Obviously, it's not going to keep reappearing. You need to buy another one if you lose it. But yeah, £20 for, like, if I think about how much I would spend on sanitary towels and tampons on if I was buying stuff from the high street, probably about £4 a month. So that's going to make up its own, look at me wobbling this like in 5 months that's made back its own money. So I feel good, because for the first 6 to 8 months I used it and it was fine, and I've made back my own money from it, so I feel like okay. And it's best for the environment. There's literally no waste. It comes in a cardboard box which you're able to recycle, and then this you just keep forever. You can pass it on in generations if you want. Yeah, you're never going to get any waste from this. And yeah, like I said, never have to replace. So really, like, great value for money, never leaked for me, money saving, best for the environment. If you can get on board with these and this works for you, then lucky you, because after 6 to 8 months, I just hit a wall. That wall that I was showing earlier with my hand. I just hit a wall, and I struggled to get it in and out, for it to sit comfortably, for me to sit comfortably with it in, and I was spending a lot of time down there, like reaching up, trying to get things out, things like that, which was making an already quite sore area even more tender. So I just sort of fell out of love with it. And I'm not saying that this is like a goodbye forever. I'm saying this is goodbye for now. I need to get back to it and fall back in love with it. Now, what I have realised when I watched a few people's videos on sustainable periods, and in one video I watched for Take Your Time, which is an amazing cruelty-free and sustainable channel. I will link it down below if you want to go and check that out. Their sustainable period video is particularly good. Sana from that channel says that she uses a natural lubricant, which I feel like maybe if I use that natural lubricant it'll be fine, because I really think this is a great idea, and if it works for you, then congratulations and well done, and continue to work. I want it to work for me, and I want to go back to it, because yeah, after first 6 to 8 months, and it's been about a year since I've used it, because I just sort of fell out of love with it. One thing I will say though, I feel like for optimum use, you need to have access to a toilet which isn't a stools toilet. So for instance, you need to have access to a toilet which has a sink inside it, because once you've removed it, although I say it's never too messy, this is covered in blood, and you have to empty it out and rinse it out and pop it back up there again, which I find would be very difficult if you were in a stools toilet, emptying it out in the toilet and then going and rinsing it out. So yeah, I'm quite fortunate at work. We do have cubicles which has a sink in there, and also you just need a bit of room sometimes. Because sometimes, like, if I was in a stools toilet trying to get this out, sometimes I have to have my leg up on the sink, gang, to get it out. So yeah, that's it. That's my they're my sort of like highs and lows, pros and cons of a MoonCup. Yeah, so that's that. The next thing I've got to show you is Bodi period knickers. So these are knickers. I've got 2 pairs. These were £23.50 each online, and I have bought the heavy or overnight flow pairs. You will be able to get cheaper for less heavy flow, but they're £23.90. I got £23.50. I got 2 pairs, and I think it was £5 delivery as well. So pricey for 2 pairs, but I'm really, really pleased with them. This is one pair, it's a black pair. This is my sexy pair, guys, with a lace trim around. And then these are my other pairs, which David washed with a pair of jeans that had a tissue in them. So they've got loads of little white bits I keep having to pick off. So apologies for little white bits, but these are like a sports pair. And I actually enjoy showing you these because you can see the black bit in the middle, in the gusset. That is the that's where, just loads of fluffy white bits on here, that is where the absorption panel is. So for these, as I said, £23.50 online, heavy overnight flow, so comfortable, no discomfort at all. It's just like wearing a normal pair of knickers, nothing to worry about, no like having to fiddle around down there trying to get something in, trying to get it to stay in. Absolutely amazing. These hold an awful lot of flow. As I've said, I have a really, really heavy period, and these hold everything in. So I've been really, really impressed. The first time I wore them, I was very brazen actually, because I wore them out first time for the whole day when I was walking around London, and I took another pair with me, but I was like, oh, they'll probably be okay. And they were okay. Again, there is no wastage advantage with these, once you've got these, that's it, you have to wash them. You wash them with, excuse me, itchy eye. You wash them in you do a cold wash, and you can use normal like washing powder, but don't use fabric conditioner, because fabric conditioner repels water, so you can't use that. They are dark in colour, so they don't show up stains. So it's something else I've got to show you. A lot of like white stuff, you can see stains. So these dark ones, they don't show up stains. That's amazing. Nope, not messy at all. That all stays in there. I mean, I'm sure if I wore them for like 5 days in a row, it'd be a bit messy, but for the period of time that I wore them, period, keep saying period, I wore these for 8 hours and nothing come out. Very, very, something else I haven't even written down is that there's no toxic shock syndrome risk, is there? Not even with a MoonCup either, I don't think. And there's no messing around. So as I mentioned, I suffer really, really badly with period pains. So just being able to pop a pair of knickers on in the morning that are going to hold everything in, rather than get a bloody sanitary towel, stick it in there, or put a tampon up there, or put a MoonCup in. Put a pair of knickers on. Put a pair of knickers on and you're done. So that I really, really loved. And I love them. The postage and packaging it came in was all recyclable. I think they're amazing. This is my favourite thing that I'm going to show you. I think they're amazing. However, they're not perfect. And let me go over with in what ways they're not perfect. These take a super duper long time to dry. They're very, very absorbent. And washing them, I was thinking I will be able to do this with 2 pairs of knickers. I can't, because they take over 24 hours to dry. At the moment here in the UK, it's April, and it's like it's still raining, so I can't put them out on the line. I think in the summer I would be able to definitely do this with 2 pairs of knickers, but in the winter you're not going to be able to do it. Maybe drying them on the radiator or something might help, but yeah, they take a long time to dry because they're so absorbent. So they've absorbed a lot of water, so you need to get them out. If you wanted to swap to just using these knickers instead of using any sanitary towels or anything else as well as these, I would say you would need 3+ pairs, because you need to wear a pair during the day, wash a pair at night, and then wear another pair. So there needs to be some sort of cycle of having these knickers. And I will eventually buy more, but I'm aware that they cost a lot of money, so eventually I'm going to have like £100 worth. So in order to get 4 pairs of knickers, you basically need to spend £100, which is more than I've ever spent on knickers in my life, believe me. So yeah, I'm aware that they're expensive, but they are so good. So if you were to do this with like, and then wear sanitary towels at night, or then wear a MoonCup at night or something, you completely would be able to manage with 2 pairs probably. But yeah, that's my only. So the 2 things I would say that are bad about this is that they are pricey, because you're not just buying 1 pair and that's fine for life like you would with the MoonCup, £20. Although I actually saw in Boots they're £21.99 now, the MoonCups. You're not just buying 1 pair and then that's it. You're buying a pair and then you're having to wash them, and they've got a sort of 6 to 7 year shelf life as well. So I will come back to you in 6 to 7 years, if I'm still doing this channel. I mean, hopefully I am, and let you know how I get on with these in that time. But yeah, I've used them 2 months in a row. Really, really love them. So that it's the price and the fact that you would need a few if you wanted to rely solely on these. So something else that I tried to rely on whilst also wearing those, and I've had like an okay experience with these. I have reusable panty liners. These ones, you can buy them all sorts of places, but the pair I've got, they're from Battle Green. They come like this. It's £11.95 for 3. They come in these lovely bright colours. This is one I haven't used. They come in these lovely bright colours, and here's a blue one. I'll show you that one a bit later, because it's got a stain on it, guys, and trigger warning for period stains. Yeah, £11.95 for 3 online. What I loved about this is that I was supporting a small business. Very, very happy to do so, particularly one based in the UK. It all came in recycled, postage and packaging. Really like that as well. There's a lot less waste than shop bought sanitary towels. Well, there is less waste than shop bought sanitary towels, because there's no packaging or anything like that. I love the colours they come in. I've got a pink one somewhere. I think it's in the wash at the moment. This is a yellow one. I've got a blue one and a pink one. And they're great for a light flow. For example, the beginning and the end of the period, which is actually advised on here. It sort of says they're great for a light flow, beginning or end of your period, or as a backup to tampons or a menstrual cup. So yeah, yeah, they're great for that. And they're very transparent about that. They're quickly reusable. These did dry overnight, and 3 would be enough. They're the same washing guidelines as the knickers, so you wash them on a cold wash with with no fabric conditioner, and I just rinsed mine out when I finished using it. I rinsed it under a cold tap for as long as I could till the majority of the stain had gone, and then I washed it. But as I said, it does still show a bit of stain. So those are the pros. The cons are that, honestly, this one popper that is used, I'm going to show you this one because this is better. Right, I'll show you this one straight away. This has got a stain on it. It's not a massive stain, but it is a period stain. This is the stain that I was left with on here. So this is going to get worse, isn't it? This is after one use. So if this is something you're concerned about and you don't like seeing stains, then you're not going to enjoy something that's on a white backing. Now, I have seen these in other places which have black backing, which is going to be much more happier for you. So what I will say is that this one popper, that did not secure it in my pants for me while I was walking around. Like, I'm quite a heavy sleeper, so when I sleep, if I just pop that in and fall asleep, like if I'm at the beginning or end of my period, that will be fine. But that's not gonna, you would have to use these during sedentary days, because one popper for me does not hold something. Imagine like walking, that's gonna be moving around. It just doesn't do a great job. As I said, there may well be other companies which have more secure ones, but the ones I have seen have 1 or 2 poppers, so not the best. As I said, they're not good for a heavy flow. They're designed for a backup or for a beginning or end of period, and they do show up stains, which might be something that you're against. So yeah, and also something I didn't add on here because I was writing these out as I was wearing this sat in bed, but I moved around a bit, took the washing out and things like that. That really chafed me as well in my thighs, so yeah, that bit there chafed me. So I will continue to use these. As I said, I'm a heavy sleeper, and for the beginning and end of my period, these are great. And to have them in like when I think my period's over and I go to bed and then I wake up in the morning and guess what, there's still a bit of period there, so these will be good for that. But yeah, they're not my fave thing, but yeah, I will still use them, and like still particularly much better for the environment than normal sanitary towels. The last thing I've got to show you is quite a recent thing for me, and that is some sanitary towels and panty liners, or pads they're called, and these are from a website called TOTM, time of the month. The tampons are £3.50. I've got here organic cotton applicator ones, medium. God knows why I bought medium. These are £3.50. You get 10 in there. Oh, I've ripped the box already. All recyclable. Comes in recycled packaging. Excuse me. And these are all in recycling. I'm going to open one for you now. I haven't opened one yet. But they're an applicator one. Like old school applicators, because like now all the applicators are paper, are plastic, and they're this sort of like treated, slightly treated cardboard that's just gonna less abrasion, let's say. So they're £3.50, and then I've got 9 pads, which is a really odd number, and they come like these. These are the overnight pads. They are £2.95. These are only available online at the moment. You can buy subscription services, which I think sounds like a really good idea if this is what you're used to using, so that you never don't have them. Very enjoyable. They use organic cotton. They use recycled materials in the packaging and the postage. There is no bleaches, chlorine, etc. It's breathable, and a lot of the bleaches and chlorine and stuff are used in shop bought brands, so you're getting none of that when you're buying this. As I said, subscription services offered. You get free postage and packaging when you buy 2 products, so I got free postage and packaging for buying these, and this costs £6.50. So for a month, that is more expensive than I would be buying online, buying in shops, but they come into my door, and this would do me a period. If these were super heavy plus, this would do me for 1 period. They're the best disposable options in terms of packaging and stuff, recycling, and they're good to have for guests, I guess, or emergency supplies. So I will hang on to these, because I can't say to, if someone comes over and says, you got a tampon, I can't say no, but I've got my MoonCup if you want to have a go on that. So best for sort of guests, emergency supplies. So that's that. In terms of cons, there's not many cons, but there's still wastage. They're still pricier than shop bought, but if you were to offset that price, that difference against sustainability, I guess that would be okay for me. But yeah, there's still wastage, and you're still having to buy it. It's not as much of an investment piece as one of these reusable items are. So those are my items that I use for a sustainable period. I hope you found this this video very useful. I would love to hear down below if you've got any questions. Ask down below. I'll do my best. What are you laughing at, David?
Down below.
Not down below like where my period is. Write some questions. I would love to answer any questions. I will do my very best to answer questions. If you've got recommendations, if you've used any product that isn't mentioned here, if you've used a product that's mentioned here and you've loved it, or you found a different pro to it, or different something you didn't like about it, or something you did like about it, would be very, very interested. And I will link all of these products down below. None of them are affiliate links, sadly, because I've got a feeling there's going to be a few people buying body pants and you need them. But yeah, that's it from me. I hope it's been useful. And yeah, that's it from me in terms of periods. I'll see you all again soon. Bye!